So a few things that I always have in my house are corn, black beans, and chips, and cheese. Those are 4 things that I usually always have in my house. So having those in my house, I always have the ingredients for these 2 recipes. And they're my favorites, and they're super easy to make, especially after a workout or having a long day outside, or they're even great for taking on the go. So I hope that you enjoy and you like the recipes. So to start off, we're going to start with 1 can of black beans, and we're going to strain it because we don't need all of the moisture, and with the black beans they kind of darken all of the mixture, and we want it to look really nice and bright and pretty. So this is an option that you can have. You can drain half of the liquid of corn to make your dip a little bit more liquidy. I like mine pretty thick, so I drain all of the liquid, but that's an option that you can have. And we're not going to drain all the rotel. We need all of that. Now we're going to move on to the stove. We're going to pour our black beans and corn into the pot. Make sure you get all of it out. Make sure it's really well drained because we want all of the liquid out. Now we're going to add our rotel. This is where we're going to get our sauce from, the liquid from the rotel. Add 1/4 cup of shredded cheese, any kind that you like, and then add 2.5 ounces of cream cheese, and that's going to help with our sauce. Now, I like to add hot sauce to my dip to give it a little bit of kick, but it is an optional choice that you do not have to make. When stirring, make sure that you kind of chop up that cream cheese. I like to chop it up with my spoon that I'm using. I like to also leave the cream cheese in the liquid because the liquid is what's going to heat up the most first, and that's going to help break down the cream cheese to make the really nice yummy sauce. This is what it should look like before it starts really melting down. It's just going to be all mixed together cheese. It looks really good. If the cream cheese isn't really breaking down fast enough, you can keep trying to break it down a little bit more with your spoon, as you can see me kind of mashing it up a little bit. After about 5 minutes of heating, it will start to really look creamy because the cheese is broken down. And there's your finished yummy product. You can eat it with basically any chips that you can scoop with. Have fun! So you're going to strain your beans and corn like we did in the previous part, and this time you're going to make sure that you get all of the liquid out, because otherwise it's going to be too soupy for your tortillas. Then we're going to add our cheese. This is going to be 1/4 cup, any shredded cheese that you want, and then we'll use 1 taco seasoning packet. You can use spicy or hot. I like using the mild. Then we're going to stir it up and make sure that it becomes well blended. It should look something like this. Moving on to our kitchen, I like to set up all of my stuff on the side. I like to have everything prepared so I don't have to keep running to the fridge because the tortillas are going to cook quick. So we're going to put a little bit of butter so that the tortillas can kind of get a crispness to them. And I'm going to make sure I smear it around there. I find it better to put the tortilla in the pan and then put my mixture on top, so that way I'm not having to plop it into the hot butter, and that way I don't burn my hand any. So when you're putting in the mixture, make sure that you don't put it in too thick, because when you flip over your tortilla, it might spill out. Even when I put just about one thin layer of the filling in, I still have some spillage whenever I'm flipping it. I like to add a little bit of cheese layer on top. This way when flipping, the top tortilla does not come off of the top. It will stay pretty stuck to it. I like to use my spatula to kind of make sure it's not sticking, making sure I put enough butter on there. Since this is my first test, that kind of helps with that. So now we'll flip it. You can check it and see if it's the right crispness that you want. I had already checked it. Normally before flipping it, I will add a little bit more butter so that underside will cook just as crisp as the first one. But I kind of forgot to, and then I burned this side. So if you want to make smaller ones, you can just make it kind of in a taco and kind of shimmy it in between your hands. And I like to put the spatula on top because it'll pop open if you don't. But once it cooks a little bit, it'll stay closed on its own. This was really the best one that I made. All of the other ones I kind of burned just a little. Hi there again. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope you like and subscribe. And I hope you come back for the next one. Thanks, guys!